Right. I think I think let's see, this thing actually worked, man. Am I actually live here? Let me see. We're at noon, and so the board is late. Um, no, I'm not live. I don't know what's going on here. Is this actually working? Okay. Wait, maybe it is working. No, I don't know. All right, let me turn it off and see what happens. Oh, stop. All right, well, I don't know. It says I'm streaming, but I don't see anything anywhere. I can always come back and do this later, I guess. Where's this streaming to? Oh, I guess it is working. It's up here. This thing works. All right, well, I learn something new every day, man. Yes, my leader in technology skills seem to be improving. Well, they're late as always. It is now 2 minutes past, and of course they're late. Well, while we're waiting for those people, let me show you a little bit of my. Here's my latest Ace Hayes.
Well, let me tell you what I think's really happening. I think that we're
This is 1992.
going to go from chaos to the new dark age. The state of chaos which now obtains will inevitably degenerate into a new dark age of unreason, superstition, hysteria, and ignorance. All institutional systems are falling apart in direct ratio to the inflating rhetoric of success by system employees.
Okay, you get that? That's the important part. The more these people that are running our world claim success, the worse the world is actually getting. It's brilliant. This man was a brilliant man, and he just died of an aneurysm. He just dropped dead one day. Surprisingly, I don't know why. Of course, people do drop dead, but people that are in positions of power that preach this kind of thing have a funny uh, way of dying. And that's like Trimet is even like this now. I mean, you see Sam going on and on about how wonderful everything is, and it's terrible. And we know we're listening. We hear it. Okay. Oh, wait.
I'm Ozzy Gonzalez,
Oh,
presiding officer for
I
the
knew he
Trimet
was
Board of
gonna.
Directors.
I
This
knew
is
they were
my
gonna make Oz. Okay, this is just. Isn't this not perfect? They made him the president after what he just pulled.
my first run.
Now I liked Ozzy, but
Thanks for that, Director Edwards. Welcome
but it's just another slap in the face of everybody. I hope you see that.
everyone to the Board of Directors meeting for June 28th, 2023.
Set up
Today's
professional
meeting is being
audio.
held at the University of Oregon's downtown Portland campus in Old Town. And we are also streaming, the meeting on YouTube. So hello and good morning to everyone online. Before we get going, I'd like to first take a moment to introduce two new board members.
Yeah, they're gonna pretend like nothing happened. It's perfect. Isn't it? They took the guy that slammed Obel for this fake psyop and they made him president. Just another indication of how the elites don't give a shit about us.
To the board of directors. First, let's see, to my out in the audience, we have Robert Kellogg, who is the new board representative for District 3. Welcome, Robert. And District 3 covers Southwest Portland, parts of Beaverton, Tigard, Tualatin, and Sherwood. It's great to have you. And Director Kellogg will be joining us officially on July 1st. So this is the preview. It'll be great to have you at next month's board meeting. Also, to my right, we have Tyler Frisbee joining the board today.
Jeez.
Director Frisbee represents District 4.
All insiders have covered this on my blog, on my Twitter. I know nobody's paying attention to me, but I actually follow these events.
Which primarily covers Southeast Portland and Milwaukee. And Tyler's replacing Director Lori Irish Bauman, whose term expired last month. And Robert replaces Board President Linda Simmons, whose term has also come to a close. Welcome to you both. And now we have, do we have any board members virtual? I think everyone else is here today in person. Wonderful. We have made accommodations for virtual participation for members of the public who wish to provide public testimony this morning and who could not be here in person. And I do believe we have at least one person who has signed up for a virtual testimony today. And as I call on people, let's see here. And now we're going to begin the public forum. However, we're going to begin with those who are present and have signed up to testify.
I'm only going to live stream this testimony.
I will be calling on people in order of appearance. I will call two at a time, as there is room for two folks at the testimony table. So if you hear your name, please step on up and turn on the microphone. I believe we have 3 minutes for each testimony today, and I ask that you honor that time and be respectful so that everyone has time. Let's see here. So the testimonies, do we have folks that have signed up to testify this morning? Oh, very good. I do have here a public forum request from Eli.
Oh, Eli's there.
Richie?
Oh, Eli. Richie.
Please, come on up. And that is the only testimony I have today. Eli, you have 3 minutes this morning. Welcome.
All right, Eli. There's only one person that came, and that's Eli.
I remember. Good morning.
Turn on the fix.
Thanks, guys. How are you guys today? I'll try to keep this short. Thank you. All right.
Well, there's my hero,
Okay,
Eli.
so, good morning, everybody. Esteemed members of the Trimet Board. My name is Eli Ritchie. I'm here today to share my personal experience of facing retaliation for exercising my fundamental right to engage in First Amendment activities. I appreciate the opportunity to address this matter, as it is crucial to uphold the principles of free speech and protect individuals from any form of retribution. It's not really easy for me to be here, but I made it. As an advocate for open dialogue and civic engagement, I've actively participated in various forms of First Amendment activities within the community, including peaceful protest, public assemblies, and expressing my views on social and political issues. Unfortunately, I find myself in a distressing situation where I've become a target of retaliation due to my exercising of these fundamental rights. Allow me to provide some context. In my pursuit of fostering positive change, I've been vocal about issues concerning public transportation, specifically Trimet. I firmly believe in the importance and the inclusion of accessible transportation system that serves the diverse needs of our community. Consequently, I have expressed my concerns, offered constructive feedback, and engaged in public discussions regarding Trimet policies and practices. Regrettably, instead of being met with open dialogue and a willingness to address these concerns raised, I've faced various forms of retaliation. I've had to fight in court in order to clear my name. Unfortunately, allegations are amplified in the media, and the outcomes of those cases, the reversal of those cases, are not made public. The First Amendment of the United States Constitution enshrines the fundamental right to free speech, assembly, and petition. These rights are the bedrock of our democratic society, fostering an environment where diverse voices can be heard and considered. It is imperative that we safeguard these constitutional rights, not only for the well-being of individuals like myself, but also for the health of our democratic institutions. Today, I stand before you to request the Trimet Board take immediate action to investigate these instances of retaliation and ensure that such behavior is not tolerated within the organization. I implore you to reaffirm Trimet's commitment to the principles of free speech and actively foster the environment where employees, passengers, and community members feel safe to express their opinions without fear of retribution. In conclusion, the ability to freely express oneself without fear of retaliation is a cornerstone of a just and democratic society. As a responsible and accountable transportation agency, Trimet has the duty to uphold these principles. I sincerely hope that my testimony today has shed a light on concerning issues and retaliation faced by individuals engaged in First Amendment activities. I trust that the Trimet Board will take appropriate measures to address these concerns and reinforce the importance of protecting constitutional rights. Thank you for your time. I began filming by filming transit police harassing and threatening young youth for violating curfew. In the back of a parking lot, I stood up to them, and ever since that day, my life has basically been one where I have to protect myself by filming every encounter that I have with law enforcement. It started with transit police, 16 different agencies operating as transit police, no accountability. It's insane. Officers my size wearing flight jackets, checking tickets, $2.50. It's optics. It's something to watch, and I've been targeted for presenting that perspective. It started with Trimet. You guys might know me through my interactions as a quote unquote cop watcher, photographer, Politico. But at the end of the day, I've always just been somebody who's been interested in incremental change, being involved, and I decided that I would go ahead and film the police and exercise that right, and that was my campaign. And again, just the other day, I got harassed for having a bike on the train. I've got videos, and I wouldn't mind sharing them with you before they were to be published, just so that we can have an open dialogue about the incidents that we see.
Thank you, Eli. I appreciate your testimony. Thank you for your comments. We have received the written testimony as well, which I've noticed does include some contact information. So I encourage the agency to respond back and try to understand a little bit better what exactly is happening within the Trimet system. I understand that these sort of incidents expand beyond Trimet itself, but I really appreciate you bringing these happening on the system to our attention.
Thank you very much. Yeah, physical assaults, false arrests, I've been through it all for simply holding a camera up in modern age. I know a lot of maybe people are familiar with or used to being that level of accountability and civil engagement, but it is 2023, so it's kind of the norm today. Yeah. It should be expected and responded to in an appropriate and professional way. So thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony, Eli. Are there any other individuals who have signed up to testify this morning here in the room? I don't see any more. Okay, and now let's go now to those who have signed up to provide a virtual testimony. I'd like to begin with Thomas Gibson. Okay, Thomas, if you are out there and you hear me, we'll get back to you after we have a testimony from another individual who signed up, Joe Kunzler.
Joe!
Good morning.
I love Joe.
Can you read Chair Ozzie?
Good morning,
I love Joe.
Joe. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Joe Kunzler here, concerned citizen and vocational Trimet writer. I was recently down in your Portland area for the Oregon International Air Show, and I wanted to do the responsible thing and pay for my Trimet fare. And so I put your app on my $100 motor G Power phone, which I'm holding in my right hand, and when I went out on the system, the app wouldn't let me, tap because the $99.99 phone I'm holding here does not have the hardware to
Oh, nothing.
tap on and tap off your green poles. And I really think that that's a serious issue. That I think that if you're going to do this fare collection thing, you might want to change fare providers. Now, I get nothing out of this financially or otherwise. I'm just sharing with you because I'm a supporter of transit, and I wanted to call on last month, but work obligations got in the way. There is this fare provider. It's called, I don't know if you can see it. It's called UMO, and that's what Skagit Transit uses. And you put the app on your phone, you prepay, you get a QR code that you can see here, and that QR code is optically scanned. So you don't need to try to find a phone that can tap or not tap. You just have this QR code scanned, and there's also fare capping with UMO, and the company is very committed to equity and social justice. They recently left Twitter as a result of that. So I just wanted to reach out to you as a supporter of transit and ask that if you're going to continue to collect this regressive fare, that you go to a UMO app or something that doesn't require green poles that don't work, or an app
Good point.
that doesn't work. Because what I decided to do, to be honorable, was buy 2 one-day paper passes, and that worked. But again, I just wanted to bring this to your attention.
Good point,
thank
Joe.
you for all you do. And I also want to thank the board member who voted no on the fare increase. And I'd like to leave it at that.
Yay,
Thank you for your
Cassie.
public service.
Thank you very much for your testimony, Joe. Do we have Thomas Gibson available to testify? I'm seeing no connection coming from Thomas Gibson. Are there any other individuals that have signed up to testify virtually? I see no other individuals
So nobody?
signed up to testify virtually. I appreciate
All right. Well, I'm not going. Wait.
any feedback we get on how to use the system responsibly, and
I don't testify at these anymore because I don't. It's not my place to get involved with this. Okay, I'm a hobbyist in the sense I watch the show. I mean, I'd love to testify, but they sent me my check, man. That's all I really should care about.
and any instance where it might be difficult to do so. So thank you so much to all that have brought their testimonies today. And with that,
All right. Well, I'm not going to listen anymore.